This is the Doctor, continuing Cyber Knight's Flashpoint. We've just finished the tutorial along with the tutorial mission, kind of like Gatecrasher in XCOM 2. Now we're at the main base. There's a timeline of things that are happening, not too much going on right now, except for me to fully recover from that surgery. I'm starting to fix up the HQ, gonna putting some rooms and so forth, but there are some important things to point out here and things we can actually get started on right away. You'll notice in sort of the middle right area there are these three icons: care and feeding, co-conspire, and efficiency grind. These are the special talents of the Faced, who is our Bradford. Hayes manages the entire base, manages the mercenaries, manages the contacts and relations. By the way, one of the great things about the Triss Brothers games are the extensive behind-the-scenes systems. Kind of actually a bit like Long War in a way, except it's more transparent by design. I'm not saying the Long War system is bad, like the aliens are doing stuff behind the scenes, but yeah, this is the same with their game. You have all these contacts. Some are enemies, as you can see. Some are friendly. It's based on this trust. High trust increase mission payments, and is generally a good thing. You build up trust by doing missions for them. And you can see, Dr. Asher is trusted because she has 32% trust with us. And different contacts offers different things. Like this guy, Bimmer Zhang, a nightclub owner, he sells combat drugs. Kind of makes sense. He'll buy all sorts of files and accounts, some used items, some item blueprints. We've got Diego Fluger. This looks like a gun runner, so he sells us weapons. He'll buy weapons from us. Dr. Ash does medicine, some basic cybernetics, and so forth. So, when you do a mission, it's not just a random mission. You are actually doing a mission on behalf of someone in this list. And there's an ability called Co-Conspire that can generate a mission. So, you want to, who you do a mission for. Some of them will just randomly generate missions on the timeline, and you can do those missions, of course, but you can also selectively choose what characters you want to power up, for lack of a better term. Like when you pick these characters and co-conspire with them, you can, if their influence increases enough, then they can rank up, and then you can, if you have enough favors with them, you can pick and choose how they rank up. It's a really, really cool system. More RPGs should do something like this. So let's go to the Face and assign some skill points. By the way, when you start a game, you get a couple of days that you can respec for free. It's a little broken on the Face right now because if you respec, if you do the co-conspire and respec, at least at one point, it would just give you another co-conspire. And you can keep doing that. Seem clearly not working as intended. So I'm not going to try to abuse the respecs on the Face. The other characters, I feel like it's perfectly fine to do respecs. All the other characters, their abilities only apply in battle. You can't respec in battle, so no harm in doing that. Okay, let's, so what I want to do first is get this Deal Maker talent. You get bonus to payment, just as a baseline trait. That's pretty good. Then I think there are two choices. We can buff this up a little more. I do kind of like buffing it up so that you get a little more influence. Or we could upgrade Co-Conspire so that Co-Conspire will gain a little more influence on the contact. The other option is you can go up to this perk called Puppet Master, which is an absolutely insane ability, arguably too powerful, where you can help steer a contact's influence limit break and spend a charge to increase the level of all the contact services as a single limit break result. So you can very quickly upgrade your contacts to sell the best stuff. Arguably a little too powerful. We could rush for that as well. Not necessarily a bad idea, but I do like to get some basics set up. So I could get co-conspire and just immediately gain that influence. But I could also pick deal maker, and that just also gets us influence from doing jobs for street and syndicate contacts, which is the vast majority of our contacts right now. So I think I'll do that. I could upgrade this further. +1 favor or +10% influence for secondary objectives given by street or syndicate contacts. This, I don't know if I've ever seen this work properly, but I do quite like the idea of it. Co-conspire is definitely worth upgrading, but early on, we got some heat problems. I don't know that I want to upgrade it too aggressively early on. So, well, but then again, the first charge to reduce it to 22 days, it's pretty powerful. Hard to pass that up. So let's do the first charge and reduce the cooldown on co-conspire. You can't really go wrong doing that. And now I will, in fact, co-conspire with one of those contacts, and I'm gonna a lot of good choices. Potato here, he's a wire ghost. He's the only character that sells cyberdecks and programs for our hackers. So, and that's really important for the hackers. Most of the other stuff, like there are redundancies. Gun runners, we have 2 gun runners, I believe. That guy and Origami Joe. There are different people that sell combat drugs and military items and so forth, whereas different doctors as well. But Potato is the only person who sells hacking equipment. So he's a pretty high priority to buff up. So we're going to co-conspire with him and see what sort of jobs he has for us. You can also look at their traits. I think the jobs they offer is like kind of dependent on their traits. Like if you pick some characters who are more violent, I think they tend to give you more stuff about, like more jobs about fighting. Potato might give some like hacking jobs and so forth. So I'll co-conspire with him. Potato, I know we can work out a mutually beneficial arrangement. Check your timeline for a new event from Potato to start this mission. So, oh, right there. 8 days, 12 hours. I need you to play bodyguard and help move one of my couriers safely. But the way the timeline works is also not the most intuitive. You have to talk to your contact to get a mission. But the mission details only spawn after you talk to your contact. So let's say you talk to this guy Potato and his mission is available in 10 days. If I talk to him now, the mission will just be available in 10 days. But if I wait 8 more days, the mission will still be available for 10 days, giving me effectively 18 days to start the mission. And more time is always better. Or not always better, is generally better. You want to give yourself as much buffer as possible. And when you do missions, this thing called heat increases. There are lots of ways to decrease it. Just passively, it can decrease, but there's a building you can get to decrease it. And I hate high heat, like it just causes issues. So I don't want to deal with the high heat. I want to spread out the early game missions a little bit. And once we get the building that reduces heat, then I can go very aggressive on doing as many missions as possible. But we're not quite at that point yet. So let's just pass the time, because we've got to heal up from the injury first. Hayes, should you really be back on your feet, the doctor? Evening, Hayes. You're up late. Hayes, we've all been stewing here. It's been a nervous wait for you to recover. But look, let me get you back to bed. The doctor, I'm 12 days out of cyber surgery and riding a wave of pain medis. I'm not going anywhere. I'm fine. I'm just standing here thinking. Hayes, like the thing in your spine is thinking? The doctor, I'm the only one thinking, Hayes. My new Spino is a lot of things. Quantum crypt, a tactical computer, a quantum countermeasure broadcaster. But it is not some AI floating around in my skull. Hayes, sorry, I know. The doctor, but yeah, I'm thinking. With it. I'll find some time to talk to the others tomorrow. I know I need to calm some frayed nerves. This quantum rider changes nothing, and everything. We all swallowed a big bottle of risk on this one, but it's gonna pay off. Hayes, we'll come up aces, I know it. But if you're going to be a stubborn forklift and refuse to go back to bed, can we at least talk shop? What's our next play? So Ultratech dropped a response team on the clinic. Hayes, right on the roof, nearly on our heads, and another team came through the lobby. Deductor, so someone snitched on us, but late. Otherwise, they would have just been waiting for us. Hayes, it could have been someone on the surgical team. I can't swear how it could be someone on our team and we'd still be alive. Deductor, nah, this isn't one of our own. Have we heard anything from Octane? I'm sure she is eager to hear how things went. Hayes, Octane called twice while you were under. The team had agreed to go dark, so I let it be. Honestly, I didn't want to talk to Octane until she could see your upending fighting shape. Deductor, well, she can wait a little longer then. Hayes, I don't know, not much longer, Deductor. You're a big investment, you know. You can call Octane directly by clicking on the timeline event or wait for her call by pressing play to advance the timeline. Yeah. Octane doesn't want to talk to us. She wants to hear about her money. Hayes, maybe. But we have a full 2 weeks before we owe her payment, so there must be a reason for the calls. Deductor, everyone has another agenda, yeah? Hayes, hearing new Boston, yes, they do. Deductor, alright, let's contact her and figure out what she has in mind. Maybe we can learn something to boot. We need a bankroll. We need to test these new teeth on a heist. Hayes, when Octane offered us the loan, we knew we'd need hot cash shortly after the operation. We've been saving the forward op just for this purpose. Emil found this one and scoped the facility out. It's a site where McKellen Heavy Industries is dismantling a major operating base in Ward 7 to move it to the new construction site for Ward 11. It's not perfect. We have to hit the base before they've siphoned off all the valuables. McKellen security is still going to be present, but they're not going to be on high alert. Deductor, but we can dump the files, blueprints, and cubes straight to the black market for United Digitos. Maybe enough to cover most of our first loan payment. Hayes, and we need those credits. Octane's repayment schedule is very steep. Alright. Hayes, enough, Deductor. I don't care what you say. You're going back to bed. Deductor, ha, if you insist. I want to be looking fresh to talk to Octane tomorrow anyway. A new job, forward op is available. Alright, so we should take a look at this new job. Ooh, we got 19 days to do it. That is interesting. They really give quite a comfortable buffer for that. But I don't really want to wait 19 days. This is a nice early mission to do. And oh, we got another conversation here. At Tana, I'll admit it, I thought we were cooked before we even got started. Gunned down on the rooftop by some Ultratech goons before Deductor even got his wires. We're lucky to have Dade watching over us. Hayes, we've got to be able to lean on each other. I'm glad you know Dade has all our backs. At Tana, maybe you'll give him a little less spat next time he has a good idea too. Hayes, I'll take that into consideration. Positive relationships such as respects create a bond between characters and contacts. The benefits of hype, the negatives of stress, and the effects of story decision all flow through relationships from one character to another. In addition, deploying characters in positive relations on jobs together can also increase hype, reduce stress, yield positive trait changes, and even increase XP gains. And I like the character bonds from XCOM 2, right? Like, it's just like, you take the best part of all the games, you mash them together into this incredible new game. So, Atana here respects Dade. So, generally speaking, we want to send them on missions together. And I don't know if this is true or not. I haven't observed it in great detail, but different mercenaries have different friends among your contacts and not just between the mercenaries. So for example, Potato and Emil are friends. So I wonder if I send Emil on the Potato mission, whether that would be like give us a better result, like increase the XP and stuff like that. I don't know. I haven't like carefully paid attention to that, but I want to try to pay attention to that stuff on this this playthrough. So anyway, yeah, I can also do my levels. All right, and I got to do some respecs. So first, I'm just gonna start with the respec. I want to redo everything. Cyber Knight is the base class for your starting character. You can add multi-classes and do other things. The way I've built my Cyber Knight, Soldier actually probably makes the most sense as a secondary class because I'm going to do automatic weapons. So the soldiers are definitely the best of auto weapons, like any sort of SMG or the assault rifles. Like, they are just by far the best class with them. They have a lot of talents that synergize. So definitely keep in mind you want to use soldiers if you're gonna lean heavily into those weaponry. There's all these other classes like gunslinger. It's about the pistols, snipers, pretty self-explanatory. Sniper rifles. They usually also get a pistol, right, as an offhand. Cyber swords, they're really good with those swords. Some of these classes, though, you can't just spec into. Like Agent X, Gunslinger, Scourge, even Vanguard, you have to get a special implant, and these implants cost money, like a lot of money. And I don't even know, like, we have access to these yet. So only some... you can only get some of the more basic ones, but that doesn't mean they're bad. Like, the basic ones, in fact, it's interesting. They're all... I never noticed this. The basic 3 you can spec into are all combat classes, and that actually makes a lot of sense. Like, you want strong combat classes at the start. They're arguably the weakest in terms of combat, but that's too much talk. I'm not gonna do a multi-class just yet. There's so many good talents in the Cyber Knight that I don't want to get out of it just yet. All classes have 3 like starting talents that are right next to your main class. You pretty much should always pick the 3 starting talents. Like, they're 1-point wonders and they're all gonna be strong. But for the Cyber Knight specifically, what did I want to do? There were, I think, a few things. So I definitely want to get a second charge in this pre-computed advantage. I've had good... Like, this pre-computed advantage buffs a teammate with +8 initiative immediately. There are so many good use cases for this. And sometimes I need to do it like twice, like buff 2 teammates. It can make a decisive difference in a lot of missions. So I'm definitely getting that. Then the look ahead, this is that talent that lets you predict enemy movement. Reducing the cooldown on that so you can use it more is very powerful. So I'll do that. And then I have 4 points free. And I want to pick up this talent, Tactical Surge. Buff yourself and any teammates within 25 meters with +2 action points. So every 6 turns, you get 2 free action points for the entire team. So that's 8 free action points. Anything in a game with limited action points that gives you more action points is, of course, insane. So I gotta get that right away. This is probably the strongest talent of the Cyber Knight across the entire tree. And, you know, you could always like challenge yourself to not play with it, stuff like that. But I'm not nearly enough of an expert at the game to know how to do those type of challenges yet. I know this is like an absurdly good talent. You will never regret picking this. It is useful in like 100% of missions. You generally want to use it very aggressively. So pick that, and then I think we're good on the Cyber Knight. Next, we're gonna respec some of these other classes. Actually, I think I might actually like... Yeah, this is a pretty good... Definitely want Anticipation. Jam Kit with second charge is good. Lure with more range is really good. And then Silence. Okay, this is actually good. I don't think I want to change our Vanguard. Soldier, I definitely want to respect you because I have a very specific idea of what I want to do. It's this marker sights. I love this talent. I love it so much. We're gonna debuff it more, upgrade it to give a crit vulnerability debuff. We're gonna upgrade it so that it can affect nearby enemies within 5 meters. That's good, right? Like, sometimes you can get 2 enemies with 1 debuff, and then I'm gonna give it an extra charge. And the reason why I love this talent so much is because it just, like, early game, you got problems hitting people. And this talent solves that. So that's why it's so good. And then I'm gonna get an extra charge of Iron Grip. This is just generally a good talent on the soldier. Overwatch, I'm not gonna be using it too much, and even the base Overwatch gives you 2 charges, more than enough. So, and I think next level I'm gonna like upgrade marker sights even more to be like even more insanely good. But we will deal with that when I actually have the talents for it. The Scourge, how do I want to change things? If I want to change things. I actually don't think I want to change things. I like the setup. I like this disorient for cooldown reduction. That seems fine. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a good combo. I like the biomimic. It's a very useful. So you got like 2 stealth talents, 3 stealth talents actually, and 1 combat talent. The bio coat bullet. So that's good. I like. We're gonna do a stealthier approach, and then date our hacker. Yes, I'm definitely gonna respect you. So, Pocket Loss. This is a talent that disables security devices. We don't have a ton of that right now, so I'm gonna give you an extra charge, and I'm gonna do this. Packet loss duration is increased by 1 turn, so the devices are disabled for longer. That is good. Then, to really hack effectively, you want this overclock talent. I'm gonna try to upgrade it pretty aggressively. This is well, it's a hacking thing, which you'll see in a bit, but you wanna upgrade the effects, and you want to upgrade the duration as much as possible. You can't really go too wrong just upgrading this all the way to max before even going anywhere else. This is how good this starting talent is, even though I haven't actually like done hacking yet. But anyway, we'll get to that. So that's all good there. What else? I don't think I have anything else to manage. Again, it's usually good to wait on missions. However, in this case, I am just going to go ahead and do this mission right away. We need money to like fix up our rooms and stuff. Like if we just wait and have no money to fix up the rooms, what's the point? Yeah, so, right, mission planning. How do you explain this? You go into a mission, you have these leverages you can pick. Sometimes the leverages will cost money, and sometimes it'll cost favors. For example, I can cancel any reinforcements played by security AI for the next 2 turns if I use one of the favors from Diego or a favor from this lady Wendigo. Can be a good idea to cancel those reinforcements. I happen to know that there are some story missions coming up where I definitely want to cancel the reinforcements. So I want to always have 2 favors in the pocket. I also happen to know this first heist is pretty fixed. Like it's not like I know what's going to happen. There's still a degree of randomization, but it is not, it's predictable to some extent. So I don't think I need to bring this other leverage. I'll be okay without the secondary leverage. I'll just bring 4 mercenaries. I'm gonna bring my, oh, what else to note about this mission? So it explains what type of mission this is. This is, there's mixed stealth and combat. Hacking, so whenever you see hacking as a loot, you generally want to bring a hacker to get that loot. And then this is what's called a scavenger raid. I guess it doesn't say it here. It will say it like in future procedurally generated versions of this mission. But you basically steal stuff, and that's your reward. The vast majority of missions, you will actually get paid some amount of money. This is an unusual type of mission where you don't actually get paid. That's fine. So I will bring myself. I will bring our hacker. We're gonna bring Atana. our soldier, and then I think I'm gonna bring Scourge for a little more stealth on this mission. Although Emil would also be an excellent choice. She's also very stealthy and she has ways of manipulating things. But I think I'll bring this particular setup. But it's not over because I want to now redo everybody's equipment slightly. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta go to the market and buy. There's a very specific item I want. A suppressor for the assault rifle. This is a gun mod. We spent pretty much all the money we have left to get it. So now I have a suppressor for my assault rifle. It does less damage, but it makes less noise. And that's pretty important because I might want to use it in such a way as to be, I want to try to be as stealthy as possible. Then I'm going to give our soldier, I want everybody to have a pistol. But, oh, the assault rifle. These assault rifles are not good on a character who doesn't have like the talents to go with it. I can give Dade, our hacker, a SMG with a silencer. Oh, I don't have enough silencers. Okay, I know what happened. So, equipment management in this game can be a little irritating. I thought there was another... Oh, yes. Okay, I can take the silencer off of Emil's weapon. And now I'll attach it to the rapid fire SMG. So it only has a sound range of 15. I actually kind of want to give this to our soldier and not worry about the heavy assault rifle. But again, like it's so good to have the heavy assault rifle in case we need it. I think this will be fine. And you want the shotgun on the Scourge. They have talents that synergize with it. Maybe at this stage you can take it out, but it's good to have a shotgun. They're so good in close range. Okay, so everybody has silenced weapon for stealth, and then some non-silenced weapons in case we need those. Then I had already gone through offline and gave everybody this thing called a shock mod. They're super valuable right now, but you know, I don't hesitate to use these if necessary. They can stun an enemy, which means they can't report to security AI, they can't take any actions. They're basically sitting ducks. You can stun them and kill them. You can stun them and then run away from them. And you have 2 charges on one item. It says it's a mine, but you can just throw it on someone and it triggers itself right away. So it's like a mine / grenade. So it's really good. And everybody has one just in case. Just in case we need it. Brought a little healing. We shouldn't really need to use the healing. And then I brought a Hyper VCAPS combat drug for our Scourge. In case we need to move a little quicker. Those drugs are also really good on the Vanguard, but I think we can buy them. They're not even that expensive. Yeah, it's only 4K. This stuff is real cheap. I also brought a thing called a biorecycler. So this dissolves a dead body, just like our Scourge's ability to do so, except it comes in an item. We could buy more of these, and later on I might buy some for other missions, but they're pretty expensive right now, so I'm not gonna bother buying these things. We do have actually quite a few items in the inventory. Like I can sell off some of our like biostitch bandages for 1K. I can sell off some of these first aid kits, so you can get a little more money. But I don't, and some of these HG grenades, we do not need 20. But I don't see the need for any of that right this second. Unless, of course, I want to buy a second silencer. Maybe I do want to do that. Huh. These biostitch bandages are not very useful. They have 3 charges, but they heal so little. I'm going to sell all 3. And then... if I sell like don't need this many first aid kits. We can loot these. If I sell 8 of these, and then I sell... you won't be using that many HE grenades, let's put it that way, but I'll sell 5. I'll sell 5, and then I'll sell 2 more first aid kits. You're also going to be able to loot these things. That means I can buy another weapon mod, another one of those suppressors. For this second urban assault rifle. That's real good for our soldier. Okay, so now we have plenty of firepower. $0. We have our Cyber Knight. We have everybody with shock mines. We've got a little bit of healing. Biorecycler. We have weapons. We have silence weapons. I am ready. Let's go ahead and get this mission started. 30 minutes after starting the video. That is crazy. Wow. Play Matrix tutorial. You are about to start a mission with Matrix terminals only your hacker can access. A quick tutorial can help you succeed inside the Matrix. Before you deploy, would you like to run a short separate Matrix hacking tutorial with just this hacker? It will not have any lasting impact on your character or upcoming mission. Sure, just to talk about like how hacking works. This hacking tutorial aims to teach you the most important gameplay features when hacking a Matrix host. If you mess one up, you can retry turn or restart mission. Yada yada, yada yada. Okay, time to ride. When you're in missions, you will find Matrix terminals throughout the map. Terminals marked hackers only connect to a facility's Matrix network, a digital environment only accessible to squad members with the hacker class who have a special neural implant. Hover over a Matrix terminal to see all the security devices, doors, bridges, or more that are connected and controlled by it. First time you click on a Matrix terminal, we'll set a movement destination to it. Once you've arrived, click on it again to start hacking. Throughout the tutorial, instructions are coded in a gold font style. Move to the Matrix terminal now and hack it. Yep. So you have to first approach, and then you have to click. Matrix hacking. Welcome to Matrix hacking, a valuable way to disable security doors, open doors, steal pay data and blueprints, or complete missions you've chosen that require a hacker. Only hackers with their special neural implant and equipped with a cyber deck that holds their programs can break into these digital fortresses. In the Matrix, you must scan those identified intrusion countermeasures, IC, guarding them, and load programs to disable or destroy IC. Scanning nodes. The node you are in is already identified an access terminal node at scan level 1 of 2. Scanning again will reveal any hidden trap IC within this node and identify the nodes connected to it. Click the scan program once to load it, and click this node and select the scan action. Alright, so hacking is its own mini game. I actually quite enjoy it. It's pretty interesting. So you got these programs. We're gonna start by loading scan like the game suggested. Select the scan 1.5 action to use the program and complete the scan. So you can click, or I'm just gonna press C on my keyboard. It's gonna use some of this Matrix action point. Right now I have 51. If I scan, I'm gonna lose 3. I finish scanning. IC icons. Good. Now you know there are no trap IC here. You can see what type of node is next, and most importantly, you can now see a brick wall icon below the node, representing what kind of IC it contains. There are 3 types of IC: active, radar icon; passive, brick wall icon; and trap, spiderweb icon. You have programs with matching icons that can counter and temporarily disable each type, or attack programs that can damage and destroy any type. Preparing your programs. Just like in the physical world, your tactics use resources. Loading and using programs take a small amount of Matrix AP. Each program you load also uses I/O. Refresh at the end of the turn and take up active memory on your cyber deck until the program is unloaded. Load Sleaze program. Go ahead and load your Sleaze program, matching brick wall icon, to prepare to counter the passive IC ahead. Alright, so they're talking about this intake output, I/O per turn, and active memory. Active memory is basically the total amount of programs you can contain, and intake output is how much you can affect your active memory every turn. So I'm gonna, if I click Sleaze, it says it takes 5 action points to load, uses 60 of that intake output, and it costs 60 memory. Movement. Now you're ready to enter the next node. Every move costs 2 matrix AP and contributes to raising the quantum security level. Click the next node and select connect to move to it. So this quantum security level is up there. Hopefully the tutorial will explain it later. But for now, I'm going to connect to it. Intrusion countermeasures. IC, also called heists by hackers, are hostile quantum constructs. You'll need to use programs, talents, or matrix navigation skills to get past many IC, but you don't have to deal with all of them. Spend your resources wisely. Passive IC. Each IC category has many different subtypes. Passive IC usually prevent you from doing something. The one in this node is a tar pit and is blocking your ability to connect to other nodes. You're trapped here until you can neutralize this IC. Sleeves program. Your sleeves program can poison a passive IC's routines and threads, causing it to disable itself until it is restarted by the host. An IC that has been disabled cannot wake itself back up. However, it can be restarted by other IC or quantum security escalations, which are covered next. If it is restarted, you may sleaze it again. Use sleaze against the tar pit for 3 matrix action points. Alright, scanning again. Now that we have disabled the IC, we can continue our hack. The next step is to run our scan program again. You're performing basic hacking now. The general process is load scan, scan 2 of 2 to look into adjacent nodes, load programs to deal with the IC you have detected there, connect to a new node and defeat the IC as you hunt for your objective. Once familiar, you'll be able to quickly blaze through nodes repeating this basic process. Q security AI. Like the overarching security AI you face in most physical locations, each matrix host has a Q security AI monitoring and defending it. Every action in the matrix leaves digital traces, increasing the QSec tally until it raises the QSec level and triggers an escalation. Multiple factors can adjust the QSec tally cost per action, shown here in yellow, like the host rating, the type of node you're in, IC, and QSec escalations. You have already gained some QSec tally by connecting to and then running a program in this access node. Now, the tutorial has increased your tally to 59 out of 60. This one action short of forcing a rise in the QSec level in an escalation. Run scan. Scan this node to upgrade it to scan 2 of 2 and reveal neighboring node types and IC. So cause a QSec escalation. Yep. Okay, escalation, lethal biofeedback. QSec channel, overloads channel with lethal biofeedback. Final damage, minus 12 hit points. Escalation strikes. Escalations can take many forms. This one dealt your hacker some hit point damage from biofeedback. Damage in the matrix can target your hit points. Potentially wounding you could reduce you to 0. Cyberdeck, requiring repairs or burning it out. Connection health, disconnecting you and dazing your hacker with dump shot. Some talents and cyberdeck upgrades can protect you from some amount of damage. Hacking log, all your actions and all of the QSec AI and IC's actions are recorded as entries in the hacking log. If you have any questions about what has happened or in what order, the hacking log has the answers. Deception program. We can see the results of our scan indicate the next node is a firewall containing an active IC as represented by the radar icon. These IC are more dangerous than passive IC. Deception program. Load deception from your cyberdeck programs in order to be ready to disable the active IC. So we'll load that. Program charges. When you use a program's final charge, it automatically unloads and no longer takes up active memory. If you have enough matrix AP and IO, you may reload a program to refresh its charges, or use the newly freed up active memory space to load a different program. Connect to firewall. Select the firewall node and use the connect action. Okay, active IC. Active IC react each time you take an action within the node, e.g. loading a program, using a program or talent, connecting to a different node. Different active ICs react with different abilities. Often the best strategy is to deal with the most threatening active IC first and passive IC second. If your action disables or destroys an active IC, it can't react. Disable the buster IC before it can damage your connection. So right now, this buster says 10% damage to connection when you take an action, but if we disable it, it doesn't actually cause that problem. Okay, forcing end of turn. Success. The active IC was disabled. Now to simulate the natural end of a hacking turn, the tutorial has reduced your matrix AP to 0. Things are going badly in a matrix hack, you can disconnect to return to the physical world. It's best to disconnect from nodes you've disabled all IC. Otherwise, a hard disconnect results in stress and a temporary dump shot debuff. And your action. It's time to end your character's action. Your next turn will resume right where you are in the matrix host. In larger missions with other mercs operating meat space, your action is interwoven with allies and enemies' real-world turns by initiative order. End your action now and observe how your matrix AP refreshes, your IO buffer empties, any programs you have loaded into active memory stay loaded for the next turn. Alright. Locating the CPU. Now that we have dealt with this node's active IC and refreshed all of our action pools by ending our turn, we are ready to infiltrate deeper into the host. Spoiler, the next node is the CPU, Central Processing Unit, the quantum heart of the Matrix host. CPUs are scan resistant. Unlike all other nodes, CPU nodes are scan resistant and may only be scanned from inside a node, not from an adjacent node. So if you scan an adjacent node that will not scan, you know you're at the CPU's doorstep. When you dive into a CPU, you have to go in blind, so be ready for a fight. Complete a scan action to bring the firewall node to a scan 2-2, but note how this node to the north still does not reveal any details. That's the CPU. Scan 2-2 and see nothing new. You found the CPU. You can also see this indicated in the hacking log. Yep, it says right here, CPU located but resisted remote scan. There's only one CPU in a Matrix host. Once inside, scanning a CPU node level to 2 of 2 will reveal much of the Matrix host map, upgrading 50% of unscanned nodes to scan level 1 out of 2. Spiking the CPU, covered next, will cripple the quantum security AI. Hacker's talents. In addition to your programs, you also have hacker talents trained and upgraded from your class tree, which can be used in the Matrix. The upcoming CPU will be a challenge. To prepare, use both your hard shell and overclock talents now. So hard shell grants some cyber shield. So run second talent, good start. Now run the second talent. And then overclock buffs your action points, your ability to load programs, and so forth. CPU ready. We've raised our digital defenses and our deck is running hot. Time to connect to the CPU node. CPU objective. Welcome to the CPU, the tough quantum core of the machine. Your objective is to crush the Matrix's host defense by injecting a virus spike. Before CPU can be spiked, 2 conditions must be met. CPU must be scanned 2 of 2. All IC must be destroyed, not just disabled. Right now, our only way to do this is to use the attack program. Run the scan program on the CPU now to reveal the IC types we are facing and take the first step towards spiking. Okay, load attack program. 2 ICs are defending the CPU. To spike the CPU, you must destroy all IC with an attack program. Disabling them is not enough. You must pick which IC you want to attack first. Depending on how much HP an IC has, it may take more than one run of your attack program to destroy it. Use your attack program to destroy both IC. So you gotta pick. You can see how much health they have. This blaster, which damages the cyber deck, has 10, and this jammer, which increases the Matrix action point cost, has 20. But my attack is more than enough to kill either one of these. I'll take out the one that's damaging me first. We seem to have plenty of action points. Notice when we destroy the IC, it did not reduce our health. So like when you destroy it, it doesn't get to like its effect doesn't get to do anything. Now, the other IC in the node could do things to you. So something to keep in mind. IC destroyed. You have destroyed the first IC, keep going. Use another charge of your attack program to destroy the second IC. Finish scanning to spike. All that's left is a quantum sizzle. The IC are destroyed. Now scan the CPU to level 2 of 2 so you can spike it. Reload scan program. Your scan program is out of charges. Reload it so you can scan the CPU. Virus spike prepared. The CPU has been scanned 2 of 2 and all IC destroyed. With its defenses down, now it's time to deploy the spike. Use the spike CPU button to deploy the viral spike. When you reduce it, you reduce the quantum security tally, which buys you more time to do more hacking. And this is often the objective of many types of missions. So the viral spike has been deployed into the remote host CPU. My work here is done. The primary objective of the tutorial is now complete. CPU spiked. Spiking a CPU reduces the current QSEC level by up to 2 entire levels. As the QSEC tally rises again, it will skip the next 2 escalations, giving you time to operate with impunity as you loot and hack the rest of the host. Another node type, the Alarm Processing Unit, APU, can also be spiked, reducing the physical world security level by 1. Host details. The tutorial host is a simple layout with modest defenses, but more challenging hosts await you. Host rating indicate how powerful its starting defenses are and what types of IC will be already installed in nodes. Ratings start with the easiest gray and advance to green, yellow, orange, red, and finally ultra. Further matrix objectives. Now that the CPU is spiked and your primary objective is complete, you can disconnect and end the tutorial. or you can explore a couple of additional nodes on your own to see how you can steal digital assets or use control nodes to disable or force open meat space security systems. Remember to be wary of trap IC, which can only be detected from inside a node by scanning it. Exiting the matrix. When disconnecting, matrix action points are 10 to 1 with real world action points, rounded down. So if you have 38 matrix action points, you have 3 back in meat space. Mastering the matrix. The basic process of scanning nodes and loading programs to counter IC is all you need to get started with matrix hacking's many benefits. Find ways to increase your resource efficiency to do more in the matrix with fewer QSEC escalations, and upgrade your cyber deck and programs from the safe house for more advantages. Check the Cyber Knights wiki, link from the main menu for advanced tips, node type listings, and more. That's the end of the guided tutorial. Happy hacking. It says that you don't get any bonuses, but let's connect to this data warehouse. Maybe we will get a file from it to finish up this tutorial. I guess it also explained that there are, maybe we'll connect to both. I wonder if there are tutorial messages. So I happen to know these data warehouses often have traps, so I'm gonna load the trap disabling program and then connect. Okay, so it's got a loot manifest and a data lock IC, which prevents downloading it. But if I scan again, we can see what sort of traps there are. There's a tripwire. So it is sleeping, triggered if you download a file, immediately restarts all IC in this node. So now the thing is, there's only one file here. So if I disable the data lock, I download this and it restarts the data lock, that's not a problem. Like, restarts, well, it didn't restart it for whatever reason. That's weird. I thought this tripwire would cause a restart, but basically I didn't need to deal with this because it doesn't actually do anything that I care about. So I'll ignore it and leave that data warehouse. And now I'll go to the SCU, the security control unit. I'm gonna scan this one. There's no nothing here, so I'll disable this, and then in the tutorial I'll demonstrate hacking this camera to disable it. So now it's disabled for 4 turns, and you know I could disable the other camera as well, but don't need to bother with any of that. So that will be the end of this hacking tutorial. It'll be a lot more interesting once I actually get to a real hack. Alright. Find me a real system. Time for real hack, I agree. Okay, I guess I did not get that file. That would make sense. Oh really? That tutorial means I have to pick my team again. Okay, but this video is actually already almost an hour, so that will have to happen in the next episode. I'll prepare the team and load everyone again. It's also interesting to note that tutorial burned a day off the timeline. Not that it matters, but sometimes you do need to be somewhat aware of the times up here so you don't miss anything. Anyway, we will do the forward op in the next episode. Thank you for watching.